name is Mel Schwarz. I live in Valley Heights and I am a fantasy illustrator. I do most of my drawing in a cafe. It has a lovely white noise almost, which kind of allows me to concentrate, strangely enough. My favourite place to draw is at Double Ristretto in Springwood. They've always got funky music, coffee's good, people are nice. It's just a really happy environment to sit and do your thing. I started doing fantasy because it was an escape, because I could be as crazy and weird and wonderful as I wanted and it didn't need to make any sense at all. Probably when I was at school as a kid, I didn't focus on schoolwork too much, and I used to just sort of doodle and it kind of went from there. Dad is an optometrist. My mum was his secretary. I don't know if they had much influence in it, but they saw that I had a talent and they let me kind of run with it. It's very meditative, so when I'm sitting and drawing, I kind of get lost in all the detail, and if something's going on in your life, you just kind of, I don't know, walk your way through it, or you just block everything out and it's just an escape. I remember going through a very angsty period and, you know, a bad breakup, and my pictures were very dark and gruesome. Yeah, very just, yeah, you could see a lot of stress and anger in them. The ones that have the most detail in them are the ones that I enjoyed the most. I've just recently done a picture of a giant lizard with wings. So sitting there and doing all the tiny little scales and the shading for each of them is good. Just made me kind of forget about everything. When I grew up, my father introduced me to an English artist called Brian Froud, and he does the most exquisite fairies and fantasies. So he's always been my idea of what the fantasy world is. So when I do my stuff, I suppose it's always there. Literally when I start a piece, I draw a shape on the paper and whatever happens, happens. So I have no preconceived idea. I've got nothing that I look at and go, I want to draw that. It's just, I don't know, it's very organic. Just do what makes you happy. Don't give a shit, just do it.
Is that different to what you do?
No, it's not. Yeah, just enjoy. Dragons. They're possibly the most enjoyable thing to draw because they don't have to be anything, they don't have to make any sense, they don't have to be in proportion. They're just these little weird things. You can put some fur flying over in one direction, you can scale it, you can just kind of make it stripy and big heads and small bodies or vice versa, and wings that don't necessarily carry the weight. So it's stuff that just doesn't have to make any sense at all, which is very freeing, it's nice. I think the female form is incredibly beautiful and far more interesting unclothed. When you're drawing a human form, you obviously, it needs to be in proportion, it needs to make sense, it needs to move a certain way, your muscles need to be there, which is challenging. It's wonderful to do, but I suppose with the dragons and other creatures, you don't have those restrictions. It's a lot freer, but when you do the details and all of the shading of the scales and the hair and stuff like that, that's what I find, you know, quite lovely. It's just an escape.